The best business laptops make it simple and easy to carry out work on your laptop without having to worry about whether your hardware specs are up to it. It doesn't matter if you're still working from home or going into the office. You need a portable laptop that can not only keep up with your most intensive computing needs but also keep your work safe. While plenty of professionals have flocked to more consumer-focused devices over the years, these notebooks offer a combination of power, flexibility, and most importantly, security that you won't find elsewhere. And it's true, you might be fine using cheaper laptops for work, but they're not as secure and in some cases won't offer the kind of horsepower that you might need to handle your productivity needs. Fortunately, the top business laptops have learned from the best Ultrabooks. They're thinner, lighter, and easier to take on the go, making them just as portable as most of the prosumer options out there. We have listed the top 5 business laptops and their key features, plus the things you need to consider to help you choose the best one for you. Links to all the products mentioned in the video are in the description below. You can also find a more detailed analysis and a comparison tool on our website, guidinggear.com. Number 5. Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Nano. The ThinkPad X1 Nano replaces the Carbon's 14-inch screen with a 13-inch panel that follows Dell XPS 13 in adopting a slightly taller 16:10 ratio rather than 16:9 aspect ratio. That cuts Nano's weight to just 1.99 pounds, making the 2.64-pound Dell look downright portly. It's not quite the lightest notebook of its general size class you can buy, but the ThinkPad X1 Nano is a brilliant grab-and-go productivity partner. It has a quad-core 2.1 GHz, Core i7 1160G7 CPU, and double the memory and storage. Though it's lighter, the Nano is trivially larger than its competitors. It measures 0.66 by 11.5 by 8.2 inches, while both the Dell XPS 13 and the Razer Book 13 are 0.6 by 11.6 by 7.8 inches. With a carbon fiber top and magnesium alloy bottom, it has the same matte black styling and has passed the same MIL STD 810H durability test as other ThinkPads. There's almost no flex if you grasp the screen corners or press the keyboard deck. The screen bezels are slim, though not quite the slimmest on the market. The top bezels make room for a face recognition webcam with a sliding privacy shutter. The camera and a fingerprint reader beside the touchpad give you 2 ways to avoid typing passwords with Windows Hello. Number 4. HP Elite Dragonfly G2. The HP Elite Dragonfly G2 is a 2-in-1 device, which means it can be either used on a laptop or in tablet mode. And its high-resolution touchscreen looks gorgeous and works brilliantly, offering the kind of versatility that MacBooks don't. It runs Windows 10 extremely well, and thanks to plenty of RAM, fast SSD storage, and Intel's new 11th generation processors, there's enough power here to ensure that most day-to-day tasks are handled well. There's no dedicated GPU, however, which should come as a little surprise considering how thin and light this laptop is. But it does mean that those looking for a device that can handle graphics-heavy work may want to look elsewhere. Battery life is also excellent, with the Dragonfly G2 lasting a whole workday in most scenarios, although we noticed that video calls were particularly taxing on the battery. Best of all, you can close the lid to put the laptop into sleep mode, then come back to it in a few days and the battery will still be there. Far too many Windows 10 laptops seems to bleed battery life even when not in use, and that's not an issue here. Number 3. Microsoft Surface Pro 8. In terms of pure portability, the Surface Pro 8 is unmatched on this list. The tablet itself weighs just 891 grams. That's lighter than almost all laptops. You'll have to deal with Windows 11's limitation as a tablet, but the stunning 13-inch display makes up for it. This is still LCD rather than OLED, but 120Hz refresh rate makes it feel like a big upgrade. Microsoft also managed to increase the screen size while maintaining almost the same total footprint, but the upgrades don't end there, with better cameras, improved battery life, and updated Intel chips under the hood. However, it's the keyboard cover that transforms the Surface Pro 8 into a true business device. The latest iteration delivers the most convincing typing experience yet, with a dedicated spot for the new slim 2-pen stylus. The trackpad is also much more usable, although most people will still need to connect to a mouse. Unfortunately, these are all accessories you'll need to pay extra for. Alongside a higher starting price and limited ports, you may want to think twice before making the Pro 8 your next business computer. Number 2. Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Carbon. There is no reinvention, but a series of refinements built upon a successful platform. With the 9th gen model, Lenovo brings some of the most meaningful changes in years, highlighted by a taller 16:10 display, a larger battery, and 11th gen Intel processors. In its quest to perfect the laptop puzzle, Lenovo moved a few pieces around. The top firing speakers once positioned at the top of the deck now flank each side of the keyboard, and the power button returns to the deck following a 3-year vacation on the right edge. The previous position allowed for power on-off with the notebook dock, while convenient for some setups. The rest will look familiar to ThinkPad diehards. Plush matte black surfaces coat the system and give it a stealthy, inconspicuous appearance that contrasts its satisfying warmth. Logos on the deck and lid were emboldened with larger fonts to appeal to the consumer crowd without being too in your face. Red trim remains a ThinkPad signature and can be found on the X1's Carbon pointing stick, branding the illuminated eye on the lid. Number 1. Apple MacBook Pro 14. The Apple MacBook Pro is a premium laptop available with Apple's M1 Pro and M1 Max COCs, well built with a full aluminum chassis. Its sharp mini LED display can ramp up the refresh rate adaptively to up to 120Hz to make motion appear smoother, and it can produce deep blacks and bright highlights to deliver a fantastic HDR experience. It also has a wide color gamut, making it suitable for content creators. The keyboard feels comfortable and doesn't cause fatigue over time. Its haptic touchpad is large and responsive, and the webcam's video quality is outstanding. Apple's M1 Pro and M1 Max COCs can handle demanding workloads like video editing and 3D animation, and thanks to their incredible power efficiency, the battery lasts over 12 hours of light productivity and 9 hours of video playback. Unfortunately, the only user replaceable part is the battery, so there's no way to upgrade any components later on. The Apple MacBook Pro 14 we use has an M1 Pro COC with 8 CPU cores and 14 GPU cores, 16GB of memory, and 512GB of storage. In terms of CPU performance, upgrading to an M1 Pro or M1 Max with 10 CPU cores will only increase multi-thread performance slightly. However, graphical performance will increase significantly if you go for an M1 Max with 24 or 32 GPU cores. You can upgrade the memory up to 32GB or 64GB, but the latter is only available on M1 Max models. The Apple MacBook Pro 14 is great as a workstation. Its M1 Pro and M1 Max COC can handle nearly every type of workload, including demanding tasks like video editing and 3D rendering. There's minimal throttling under load, and while the keyboard can get a little uncomfortable due to heat, the fans don't get very loud. The storage drive is fast, making large files transfers a breeze. And the port selection is excellent as it includes a full-size HDMI SD card reader and USB-Cs with Thunderbolt 4 support. Unfortunately, you can't replace any components other than the battery. Buying guide. Performance. If you only need something basic for tackling emails and surfing the web, you'll be fine with a mid-range CPU and 4 to 8GB of RAM. However, if you want something that can tackle anything you throw at it, splurge for a Core i7 and 16GB of RAM. Graphics and gaming. Business laptops are rarely built to do much serious gaming, but if you just want to unwind with older or demanding games like Civilization, you should be fine as long as you have at least Core i5 CPU and 8GB of RAM. For more demanding games, look into one of the best gaming laptops instead. A few have designs subtle enough to not look out of place in a boardroom. Size. Consider how mobile you want your business laptop to be. Machines such as Dell ThinkPad X1 Nano and HP Elite Dragonfly are slim and feather-light, whereas machines with larger screens are a bit bulkier and more painful to carry all day. Let us know in the comments which model works for you the best and why. Thank you for watching the video, and that is all for this one. If you find this video helpful in any way, give a huge thumbs up, stay tuned for the upcoming videos by subscribing to our channel. Hope to see you in the next video. Till next time, see you guys later.